Hello, and welcome back. You can tell that something is a little bit off. Let's have a look. Did I put on that outfit at the end of that video? I'm not sure. No, I didn't. Good. Okay. So you can't tell that something's a bit off. Right. So what happened? I actually have proceeded quite a bit further into the game than here, which is to say that I've done a lot. Got 30 brutal takedowns, panicked an enemy to kill another enemy. Actually got that done. So I don't need to do that, which is good. But I'm only here. And here is exactly where I left off. So I've got all the associate activities left. I've got everything else that I need to do. So why is something different? Well, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh. Okay, so in terms of collectibles, the helix glitches are on the map right from the get-go, apart from the last one around here, which, if I remember correctly, pops up on a boat somewhere that you can get to. So you need to wait until Memory 5 to get that. But yeah, what happened previously, I actually went ahead and did the slow carriages for Aberline. They're really easy. The last one, it's a lot easier than you think if you don't go on a red road. There's quite a few red roads between there and there, because that's where you drive back to. So avoid the red roads and you're fine. If you go on the red road, you're screwed. But I did that to get access to the treasure maps. Now, in-game, they're finally selling treasure maps instead of having to use the stupid helix points to get the treasure maps. Oh, this is the first store I ever came to in the game.
Everything you need to survive the streets, right here.
So yeah, we get treasure maps and other stuff, and they cost 5,000. You only need these two, so it's 10,000 that you're going to need, so it's easy to get. But that's not the problem. I was able to go ahead and get all of the chests, it doesn't take long, it really doesn't. All of the chests for Whitechapel and the City of London, and the illustrations. There's only 10 illustrations across the entire map. But the chests, there are 15, 16 and 39. 16, so that will be 1 makes 40, 55. 55 total. It seems like a lot, but there really isn't. It's just a lot of walking around to get them. That's the real time-consuming bit that it takes. But that's not the problem. The problem is that. It's a fantastic mission, and really enjoyed playing the mission too. But the problem that I've got is the game more than anything. How to describe it? Well, if you remember, I put up a video with Evie actually, where I was tailing someone, that hypnotist dude, and the game crashed. That's the first actual game crash that I'd had. No, tell a lie. I'd had 2 days before. So I got all the way from sequence 1 through to about sequence 7 or 8-ish and not had one crash, thereabouts. This thing, I'm on what is actually mission 2, but in actual fact, according to the progression log, it's mission 3. But mission 1 and 2, they're on rails. You can't stop them. But that's the first one that you do. So you get to mission 2. I had the first crash was when I walked into the first location you go to. The second crash was at the second location you go to. The third crash was when you go from that second location to another location, and then you have to go and trail a carriage in between the first location, second location. Is there? Yeah, and the fourth crash was at the third location you go to. The fifth crash was during a replay of that when I decided that I needed to just re-record the entire back half of the mission and hope that it would be okay, and it didn't, so I had to re-record the thing again. But instead of doing that, I actually made it to the second location and started recording from there. And the sixth crash was during when I didn't complete the 100% requirements, and I thought, well, just do a fast replay of the mission, and again it crashed within a couple of seconds of going into the first location. I don't know what it is, or if this thing is struggling to render the original game world into the constraints that this DLC's put onto it. It would have been better if they hadn't changed the lighting, because the lighting in this game is blue. I don't know if you've noticed, but in the main game, Assassin's Creed Syndicate, the light is a slight off peachy yellow, red-ish colour. It's sort of like a peach hue to the light. Same as it is in Unity. Unity is very peachy. Assassin's Creed Syndicate is slightly more blue, but still peachy. This game is blue. You can just look at the light. It is blue. And whenever you see any characters or anything else that looks remotely sort of like red, they turn purple because of it's going through the filter. Now, I don't know whether or not the game's having to render the original game and then put the constraints of this game on top of that, and it's having some sort of internal struggle, or what. If there's an issue with Evie's character model and it's actually trying to render Evie and then putting this model on top of it. If there is an error in just the pathing problems that they've got with the game, if there's a structural error within the game itself, I don't know. But this, I'm loath to call it an expansion because it's not. It is a DLC, because it doesn't expand. It expands out from the main ideas of the game, and it is fantastic. It's great fun, but it is in desperate need of a patch, and a stonkingly big one too. Put it this way. Syndicate needs a patch to make the last few sequences more stable, and that's all it needs, just to stop that occasional crashing. But that's not a problem. This game needs a patch to make it stable. There's a difference. Now, I know for a fact it's not my PlayStation, because the PlayStation's okay, and well, it's running a particularly graphically intense game at the minute, which I'm also recording, and not having a problem with it. And it's also an Ubisoft title, but this thing, it's really putting me off playing the rest of Syndicate. I mean, it's fantastic, but and I've paid $11.99 for this. So, yeah. But anyway. I am going to let's have a look. Purchase. Oh, we've got no colour. That is very, very blue. Oh, these are all. Oh, those are all the colours that you get. Oh, let's have a look at that. See what that looks like. It doesn't look as blue as it did on the. Right. You can wear white. You want, yeah, actually. You want a perfect illustration of how blue this game is? It's a white uniform and it glows white pretty much, but there is a blue tint to it. So, yeah. Anyway, so we'll be wearing white when we're doing the main missions, where we will be wearing red when we're doing the side missions, and when I get to doing it, because I've just realised that I made a colossal mistake and deleted the chests and other things from the game, so I could have not purchased the maps. Great. So yeah, I need to save up £10,000. Wonderful. But yeah, what I'm going to do is attempt to do this third mission. But before I go any further, I'm going to stop here because I want. Can I do a brutal takedown? Yeah, we can. Yeah, I'm going to need to do a lot more of those. Progression log perks. I had that done. Make 3 enemies react to a fear bomb simultaneously. 20 of. Yeah, we'll do that bit by bit. Thank you, ladies. Create a diversion by distracting an enemy with a prostitute. Error 15. We'll get that after after this mission actually. But what I'm going to do now is save. I'm going to save the mission as it currently stands to my external, so as if I come back, or when I come back, if the game screws up again, which it very well might, I'm not overly penalised by a lack of progress. So I'm actually backing up my save files now. It's like being able to have the in-game saves that you used to have. Oh, memories of how games used to be when they worked properly. Right. So I'll see you in a bit.